That would be Gallant. Gallant arrived when he was a youngster of 10 months old. He had been hanging out in an apartment complex where several people there would feed him. He was he he was always in a certain routine. Visit this one person at a certain time. Go to another person, and so on and so on. When one of the apartment people didn't see Gallant to feed him, they knew something was wrong. He would never miss a meal. So they went looking for him, and sure enough, he was in the corner of the door entrance, all huddled up. When they picked him up, they realized someone had burned him really badly. They got a blanket, wrapped it around him, and brought him to FFRC. We've seen many burned cats, but this was one of the worst. His genitals, his whole back, and both upper legs were severely burned. A long haul of treatment began. For many weeks, he quietly tolerated twice-a-day scrubs of his burns. 4 to 5 times a day, we slathered on special ointment. His whole bottom area was burnt so badly it was very hard to tell at first if we had a she or a he. As each week went by, the wounds were smaller and smaller. His personality had shined and got bigger. Gallant had the biggest heart, so much love for everyone. He was such a pleasure to have here. We all loved him by this time. In February, 2 months after arrival, things were going smoothly, but our vets advised to change his treatment by adding insulin to his treatment. Yes, absolutely. This had been shown to have good results, so we continued his treatments. In May, we were becoming concerned. All areas healed so beautifully except for one area on his hip, which we could not get that to skin over. So in June, we went to surgery and had reconstruction of the remaining site done. The vets did a beautiful job. By this time, we had a home lined up for Gallant. Our friends Billypogo and Bonnie spoke up for Gallant and put their dibs on him. We had to wait until the sutures were removed. Once that happened, Billy and Bonnie came from Virginia and officially became his family. We've seen pictures of him on Facebook, and Gallant is truly a happy boy. This special boy will always have a spot in our heart, will always own a spot in our heart. Date of birth, 2/7/2012. He arrived 12/20/2012. And he was adopted 6/25/2013. Yep. That's my boy. He's got that little ear thing going on at home, so I've been giving him ear medicine, and he does not like it. He doesn't like it one bit. I was giving him the meds today, and I said, well, you know what? His eyes are all crusted out, and he does not like his eyes. He doesn't like me to clean his eyes. So I figured, while he's mad at me, I'll clean his eyes. So, yeah, he strutted right into our hearts. And he still does that strut. He still does it, But what you will never know about Gallant, that when he was here, is that, hello, Ed Power, Gallant is a talker. You would never know that. He wasn't really a talker here, but he will meow your head off, especially when he wants something. He's really funny. But the other thing is, he is the most loyal kitty you'll ever meet. Anytime I'm sitting down, or if I'm laying down, he will have to come and lay on my legs or sit on my lap every single time. Even today, 5 minutes after I gave him his meds, he comes right up and he lays down. You would never know what horrors this cat has gone through. He's just an absolutely amazing cat. So, all right. So we are going to start today with Room on the Broom. All right. And again, I apologize. I was going to read this before, but unfortunately, I didn't get a chance. So, room on the broom. The witch had a cat and a hat that was black, and long ginger hair in a braid down her back. How the cat purred and how the witch grinned as they sat on their broomstick and flew through the wind. But how the witch wailed and how the cat spat when the wind blew so wildly it blew off her hat. Down, cried the witch as they flew to the ground. They searched for the hat, but no hat could be found. Then out of the bushes, on thundering paws, there bounded a dog with a hat in his jaws. He dropped it politely, then eagerly said, as the witch pulled the hat firmly down on her head, I am a dog, as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog like me?
The lost is found.
Where was she?
She was under the blanket on the bed that I had left her, but she had buried herself so well that I couldn't tell.
She's funny. She is a funny, funny cat. Yes, cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the fields and the forest they flew. The dog wagged his tail, and the stormy wind blew. The witch laughed out loud and held on to her hat, but away blew the bow from her braid, just like that. So, here's the dog and cat on the broom, and the witch. And do you see the braid flying off? And here, down here, you could see the bow flying off. Oh yeah, Kitty's mom? That's awesome. How long have you had them, Kitty's mom? All right. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the bow, but no bow can be found. Then out from a tree with an ear-splitting shriek, there flapped a green bird with a bow in her beak. She dropped it politely and bent her head low, then said, as the witch tied her braid in the bow, I am a bird as green as can be. Is there room on the broom for a bird like me? Yes, cried the witch, so the bird fluttered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. There's the green bird with the bow, and there's the green bird getting on the broom.
You're not helping.
Over the reeds and rivers they flew. The birds shrieked with glee, and the stormy wind blew. They shot through the sky to the back of beyond. The witch clutched her bow, but let go of her wand. Down, cried the witch as they flew to the ground. They searched for the wand, but no wand could be found. And there's the wand. And there are all the kittens and the cat, the dog, and the bird on the broom.
Rachel found it.
Oh, man. Then all of a sudden, from out of the pond, leaped a dripping wet frog with a dripping wet wand. He dropped it politely and said with a croak, as the witch dried the wand on a fold of her cloak, I am a frog, as clean as can be. Oh, I can't do that, Drooker. I am a frog. Nope, I can't do it. I am a frog, as clean as can be. Is there room on the broom for a frog like me? Yes, said the witch, so the frog bounded on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the moors and the mountains they flew. The frog jumped for joy. And so look at all those. I think they've exceeded the fire code on that broom. What do you think? So the frog jumped for joy, and the broom snapped in two. Down fell the cat and the dog and the frog. Down they went tumbling into a bog. The witch's half broomstick flew into a cloud, and the witch heard a roar. It was scary and loud. See, I told you they exceeded the fire code. Told you, told you, told you, told you. I am a dragon, as mean as can be, and witch with French fries. Tastes delicious to me. No, cried the witch, flying higher and higher. The dragon flew after her, breathing out fire. Help, cried the witch, flying down to the ground. She looked all around, but no help could be found. The dragon drew near, with a glint in his eyes, and he said, just this once, I'll have witch without fries. The dragon drew back, and he started to shake. I'm sorry, he spluttered. I made a mistake. It's nice to have met you, but now I must fly. And he spread out his wings and was off through the sky. And you know what? Maybe I'll do that at some point, after all this is said and done. Then down flew the bird, and down jumped the frog, down jumped the cat, and phew, said the dog. And thank you, oh thank you, the grateful witch cried. Without you I'd be in that dragon's inside. Hi, Min Kitty. Then she filled up her cauldron and said with a grin, find something, everyone. Throw something in. So the frog found a lily, the cat found a cone, the bird found a twig, and the dog found a bone. They threw them all in, and the witch stirred them well, and while she was stirring, she muttered a spell. Iggity, ziggity, zaggity, zoom. Then out rose, and we'll have to wait till the next page so I can show you the pictures. Iggity, ziggity, zaggity, zoom. Then out rose a truly magnificent broom, with seats for the witch and the cat and the dog, a nest for the bird, and a pool for the frog. Yes, cried the witch, and they all clambered on. The witch chapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. And here's that new super broomstick.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. So that's the room on the broom. All right, next book is called Tiny T-Rex. All right. And again, I just got to show you this picture. Tiny T-Rex and the Impossible Hug. That's a cute little picture. All right. Hello, Pointy. Are you okay? No, today I feel sad. I don't want to play. Tiny T-Rex. I have tiny arms. Hello. It's very difficult to hug with tiny arms. Every day I'm growing taller, but my arms are still tiny. Hugging almost seems impossible for a Rex as tiny as me, but I will try anyway. Pointy needs me. Guys, you're not going in there. That ship has sailed. Where is my father? I will ask him for advice. Hello, father. Rexes are thinkers, not huggers. Perhaps instead of hugs, mathematics might be the answer to your problem. Pointy does not like math. Math will only make Pointy feel worse. Hello, Auntie Junip. I have a problem. I must learn how to hug, but my arms are too tiny. I have found that balance is the key to every problem. Balance and freshly squeezed cucumber juice. That is disgusting. I'll ask my mother for help instead. I have fallen, and now I am lost. I do not think I will find my mother in here. Hello, Mother! It's okay if you can't hug, Tiny. You're good at many other things. You're kind and creative and braver than most. You are tiny, but your heart is big. I cannot hug with my heart, Mother. I must learn to hug with my arms. Hello, sister. Hello, brother. Please help me. Hugging is very difficult. We'd love to help, Tiny. Look how bigger the brother and sister is than Tiny. To do the impossible, you must plan and practice. Practice, practice, practice. Thank you, Trixie and Rory. That is good advice. I will plan my strategy. I will get stronger. I will practice very hard. I will practice my hugs on everything. Look at that. He's ever practicing the hug on the ice cream. And look what the ice cream did to him. I will not practice on This is funny. I would not practice on that anymore. He tried to hug a cactus. Look at him. He's all got all those pointies in him. I am almost ready. I will practice one more time. When I am done, I will find my friend. This tree is very big, like Pointy. I will hug it. This is not a tree. I've made a mistake. Please help. From up here, everything looks tiny, like me. I could hug anything I wanted. Look what he tried to hug. He tried to hug a pterodactyl. That's not good. Now I am falling. I should not have let go. How will I never find Pointy? Look, he's falling. He's falling. Oops. Hello, Pointy. Hello, Tiny. I am here to make you feel better. I have practiced very hard and hugged many things. My arms are still tiny and my hugs are still tiny, but I will do my very best because you are my very best friend. Thank you, Tiny. Oh, that's a cute picture. That was the biggest hug ever. And that's the end of Tiny T-Rex and the Impossible Hug. Practice makes perfect. That is the gist of the story. All right. We're going to go on to our third book called Skytree. Now, this isn't really a children's book, but I kind of looked through it. I just thought it was a really cool book because, I don't know about you, but I'm always fascinated with just watching trees as the leaves fall and the leaves fall around, and it's just been something I've always been fascinated for. So this is called Skytree. And the pictures are just as important. Once a tree stood alone on a hill by the river. Through the long days, its leaves fluttered in the soft summer breeze. But then the days grew shorter and the nights longer. The winds became cold and the tree began to change. Autumn came, the leaves of the tree turned gold, orange, and red. Squirrels hurried to store nuts and acorns. The sun rose later each day. One morning, light glistened on a thin silver frost. By the end of the day, many leaves began to fall, first one and then another. On a gray day, an old snapping turtle buried herself in the river mud, where she would sleep until spring. The tree's bare branches reached toward the sky. The clouds opened, and for a moment, the sky filled the branches. On a misty morning, a flock of birds landed where the tree's leaves had been. The birds chirped, squabbled, and sang, but suddenly their wings beat the air and they flew away. Clouds gathered and filled the tree's empty branches and then drifted away. Ice formed on the river's edge. With its roots deep in the earth, the tree stood ready for winter. Snows fell. Snug in their nest, a family of squirrels huddled close through the cold winter days. Hello, Canvy. Would you like me to move that book? All right, I'll move the book. At night, millions of stars twinkled among the branches of the tree. Beneath the river ice, the old snapping turtle slept. The world was waiting for spring. Late one afternoon, a golden light streamed through the clouds and warmed the tree. The ice on the river began to melt, and the snow disappeared into the ground. I think that's a beautiful picture. I don't know if you guys have looked at trees with when the sun is just shining through it, and you see all of the reflections and the shadows, and that's one of the reasons why I picked this book to read today, because I just thought, you know, it was a kind of a, I don't know. The smell of wet earth filled the air. Squirrels raced through the fresh grass and up the tree. Sap rose to the tree's tight buds. The old snapper crawled out of the mud to lay her eggs on the warm hillside. The tree's leaves uncurled in the spring sunlight, and the birds returned to build nests for their young. Somebody's hissing. Who's hissing? The tree stood on the hill by the river. Once again, its leaves fluttered in the soft summer breeze. Obviously, it's summer there. The tree is in full bloom. That's a cute little book. It's called Skytree, Seeing Science Through Art. Not really a children's book, but something possessed me to read it. I'm going to take a 2-minute break, and then we're going to read our final book, and maybe the most meaningful of the night. So let me just get up and move around a little bit. Hi. Hello, C-Dot. What you guys looking at? Hi. I recognize you. I recognize you. Hello, Alma. Hey. Hi. Who are you looking at? Huh? What? You sound like our little Jessie girl. You sound like our little Jessie. Joy? Are you Joy or yeah, you must be Joy? Yeah, because Lubeth has the other markings. Hmm. All right. Well, I know that one is Joy now. Combi. All right. So this one is probably going to be tough for me. It's a book it's a children's book. It's called The 10th Good Thing About Barney. But I actually was going to read this at a time when maybe one of our beloved residents passed away. But I think it's a good thing because this was my wife's book. and I want to dedicate this to the memory of my wife. It's really hard to kind of, it's hard to believe that she's gone. Really, it's hard. And I just got to get through, the next 6 weeks or so. Our anniversary is in December. Her birthday's in December, and of course there's Christmas. Thank you, Packerbacker. All right, so let me put my glasses on, and we will start reading this. Thank you. See, this book, she has had this book before we were married. So this was her book. And every time one of our beloved pets passed away, we would do this little ceremony based on this book. This is copyright 1971. Thank you. I appreciate everybody's well wishes. My cat Barney died last Friday. I was very sad. I cried. I didn't watch television. I cried. I didn't even eat my chicken or even the chocolate pudding. I went to bed and I cried. My mother sat down on my bed and she gave me a hug. She said we could have a funeral for Barney in the morning. She said I should think of 10 good things about Barney so I could tell them at the funeral. I thought and I thought and I thought of good things about Barney. I thought of 9 good things. Then I fell asleep. In the morning, my mother wrapped Barney in a yellow scarf. My father buried Barney in the ground by a tree in the yard. Annie, my friend from next door, came over with flowers, and I told good things about Barney. Barney was brave, I said, and smart and funny and clean and cuddly and handsome, and he only once ate a bird. It was sweet, I said, to hear him purr in my ear, and sometimes he slept on my belly and kept it warm. Those are all good things, said my mother. But I just count 9. I said I would try to think of another one later. At the end of the funeral, we sang a song for Barney. We couldn't remember any cat songs, so we sang one about a pussy willow. Even my father knew the words. Then Annie and I went to the kitchen with Mother. She gave us orangeade and butter cookies, and she left the box on the table so that we could have seconds. I gave my seconds to Annie. I miss Barney, I said. Annie said Barney was in heaven with lots of cats and angels, drinking cream and eating cans of tuna. Hopefully Barney wasn't lactose intolerant. Guess it doesn't matter when you're in heaven, huh? I said Barney was in the ground. Heaven, said Annie. Heaven. So there. The ground, I told her. The ground. You don't know anything. My father came in from the yard and took a cookie. Big-mouthed Annie said heaven again. I said ground. Tell her who's right, I asked Father. She doesn't know anything. Maybe Barney's in heaven, my father began. Aha, said Annie, and stuck her tongue out at me. And maybe, said my father, Barney isn't. What did I tell you, I said, and yanked Annie's braid. Father made me let go. We don't know too much about heaven, he told Annie. We can't be absolutely sure that it's there. But if it is there, said Annie in her absolutely sure voice, It's bound to have room for Barney and tuna and cream. She finished another cookie and went back home. My father told me he had to work in the garden. I said that I would help, but only a little. I told him I didn't like it that Barney was dead. He said, "Why should I like it? It's sad," he said. He told me that it might not feel so sad tomorrow. I don't know if you can see this picture, but it is an absolutely cute picture of two angel cats. Maybe I'm waiting for it to focus in on. It's a very, very cute. There we go. Do you see it? Isn't that a cute picture? I thought it was cute. My father had a packet of little brown seeds. He shook some out on his hand. The ground will give them food and a place to live, he said, and soon they'll grow a stem and some leaves and flowers. I squeezed the packet open and looked down to the bottom. I told him, "I don't see leaves, and I don't see flowers." "Things change in the ground," said my father. "In the ground, everything changes." "Will Barney change too?" I asked him. "Oh, yes," said my father. "He'll change until he's part of the ground in the garden." And then I asked, "Will he help make flowers and leaves? Will he help to make flowers and leaves?" "He will," said my father. "He'll help grow the flowers, and he'll help grow that tree and some grass." "You know," he said, "that's a pretty nice job for a cat." My father and I planted all the seeds in the garden. Mother made sandwiches, and we ate them all under a tree. After lunch, we worked in the garden some more. And there's a picture of them under the tree. Now I'm reading to you. I'm reading this story. At night, I still didn't want to watch any television. When I turned out the light, my mother sat down on my bed. She gave me a hug, and I said I had something to tell her. "Listen," I said, and I told the good things about Barney. Yeah, he probably is listening. "Barney was brave," I said, "and smart and funny and clean. Also cuddly and handsome, and he only once ate a bird. It was sweet," I said, "to hear him purr in my ear, and sometimes he slept on my belly and kept it warm." "Those are all good things," said my mother, "but I still just count 9. "Yes," I said, "but now I have another. Barney is in the ground and he's helping grow flowers. You know, that's a pretty nice job for a cat." And that is the end of the 10th good thing about Barney. Like I said, this is the story that my wife would read to kids who lost their pets. And I thought it was appropriate for, especially when this was my wife's book before. She had this book before she was married. So this is to you, Bonnie. I miss you. So that's the 4 books. Well, Lost Girl, I really wanted to will myself in, because I didn't, I didn't want to keep, I canceled the last 3 weeks. Um, so I thought it was very important to come in, especially, I don't have to work tomorrow, you know. But it's kind of weird though. My wife isn't on chat to harass me while I'm reading. You're welcome, Kitty's mom. I have Campy up here. You're welcome, Packer Backer. Thank you, Summon. I appreciate that. So, I have a couple more books next week. Thank you, Lost Girl. I really did want to be here. Thank you. I appreciate it. Derecho, I see your ears moving. Yep. I thought of, maybe taking a drive to my brother's house or maybe my mother's, but, with the virus just raging, I didn't think it was a good idea. My brother came out to my house for the weekend when Bonnie passed, and my brother had to quarantine for 14 days because there's certain states where Jersey makes, basically says you have to quarantine yourself. So he had to quarantine for 14 days. So I appreciate it. Yeah, put D-Man to sleep. Lost Girl, you should have saw Derecho when I sat over here. He was going crazy. He loved it. You don't really hear. Thank you, DK. I appreciate that. Okay, the box of the lower pen to your right. You mean the lower pen here, where my back is at? Thank you, Ed Power. I appreciate that. Oh, there's the two Measers. All right, let me take a look. Let me. Gosh. Ah, okay. Is this it? I see Smiley, A Journey of Love. Let's see if there's anything else. I only see one book. Okay. But that's all right. I found this one. Smiley, A Journey of Love. Oh, this is going to be good. Also, I don't know how many of you guys follow. It's in Minnesota, the Fox Sanctuary, Save a Fox Rescue. They are coming out with a children's book based on one of their foxes who's named Finnegan Fox. If you ever see, yeah, that's okay. If you ever saw Finnegan Fox, when you rub Finnegan Fox's belly, it sounds like he's laughing. So if you ever get a chance, check out Save a Fox Rescue. It's based in Minnesota. Finnegan Fox is basically their big popular fox. He's like the derecho. Yeah. And just check him out. I'm going to see if I can pick up that book once it comes out. It's supposed to be out any day now. So I'm excited because I've been waiting for that to come out. I'm sorry to hear that, Carbivia. I certainly know what that feels like, especially when it's all of a sudden, you know. Hi. Derecho's got his tongue sticking out. We need a children's book based on Derecho. Derecho, Derecho. I do also have that other FFRC book. I don't know if Jackie sold out of all those books yet, but I didn't want to read it on here until it was all sold out. Big D, Big D. Yeah. So we were going to have a little Thanksgiving at our house. Lost Girl was going to come. Pat and Vicky were going to come, but uh, I just didn't really have the heart to have it after everything that's happened. So um, actually, somebody dropped off a plate of food for me for tomorrow. Um, so I'll have that. I really don't plan to do much tomorrow. I'll probably sleep till noon. There's a Forensic Files marathon on HLN tomorrow. And also and Lost Girl, you want to know about this? There's a Mystery Science Theater Turkey Day marathon on TV tomorrow. Yeah, Lost Girl, it is too soon, and that's how I feel. And, you know, if I could just make it through the next 6 weeks, I'll be okay. You know, because we got Christmas, we got Bonnie's birthday coming up, and then we got our anniversary. So it's it's still a little bit raw for me. What are you doing? Are you digging? Are you digging? I'll tell you, 2020 has been something else. You know, uh, that's true. One day at a time. And Lost Girl, tomorrow, 1 year ago, we flew in and drove into Defiance to look for houses, and we put we put the bid in on the house that we moved into just 1 year ago. Thank you, Kitty's mom. So, boy, how things can change in a year. We purposely looked at all different houses to to uh, to satisfy Bonnie's handicap, and we bought this really really nice new house that we can put handicap rails up, you know. Yeah, yeah. Oh God, COVID. I One of my classmates that I was friends with. Thank you, Tiffany. Um, I was friends with on Facebook. Developed COVID and passed away. And she lived in West Virginia. And at the time, there was only a few deaths in West Virginia. And, I think she had some underlying issues, but of course that doesn't make it any easier because unfortunately this is what happens with any illnesses. It's going to take out the the old and the infirmed, and hey, huh. I haven't really seen the two Measers too much. Are they flame points? No, they're not flame points. I forget the term. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that a lot. I think the other thing that's going to help. That's very nice. You don't have to do that. I have plenty of books. Um, the other thing I've been doing is I've been going through a lot of boxes that I haven't opened, and I'm finding more and more books. Thank you, Jessica. Yeah, me too, Lost Girl. Unfortunately, with this year, you know, I've always kind of said, I think there was two things that factored in to what happened. I think the isolation, because she wasn't seeing any doctors, and she really probably should have been seeing them. And also the move where we didn't really have a good structure for doctors. So Sparrow, the ones with the knee problems. Oh yeah, I see her. Hey Rachel. Hi. Hi, Pontia. Hello, Pontia. Oh, Pontia. Oh, it's a butt rub. Where's your butt rubs? Pontia. Pontia. Before I go, I'll leave you with a little vignette. She looks very comfy. I don't want to bother her. So, I started out this morning with that little story about Gallant. And I wanted to. Some of you know this, but not many. Um, when Gallant was here, there was a couple that would visit Gallant every week, sometimes twice a week, and uh, I thought for sure that they really wanted to adopt Gallant. So about February, I was talking to Bonnie, and like I said, we just adopted our Guinness boy in January. So um, Bonnie really wanted to adopt Guinness. So I thought at the time, because I was just infatuated with Gallant, I would come home from work every day and just watch the cam for hours and just watch Gallant strut around here. And, you know, I just was fascinated with Gallant. And I remember going into the kitchen and told my wife, how would you feel if I told you that I really wanted to adopt Gallant? And my wife said, yeah, we can do it. We'll have 4 cats, but basically I had an ace in the hole because I said okay to Guinness, and thank God I did, because Guinness is the sweetest kitty. So that was in February. I believe late February, early March, I contacted Jackie and told her I was interested, and I filled out an application. I gave her all my information. But I also told Jackie that if the couple that comes in wants to adopt, I don't want you to stop. Like I don't want to be the blocker. Like, give them the priority, because they were coming in every week to 2 weeks, or twice a week. So yeah, I certainly was. I was fascinated with that boy. Um, but so anyway, it turned out that they couldn't adopt them, or I don't know if they didn't want to, or I don't know what the story was, but and I wish I remember what his screen name was, because he would come in, and I haven't seen him in a while. But when he found out that I was adopting Gallant, he sent me these these holistic remedy books for cats. It was really, really nice. But anyway, that's not why I'm telling you this story. I am telling you this story because if we couldn't adopt Gallant, we had another cat picked out that we were going to adopt. Can anybody guess who it was? And I'm going to give you a hint, and this is a big hint. This cat now is still here and is a resident now. But back then, this cat was not a resident. No, it wasn't Magic. This was before Magic was here. But that's a very good guess. And let me tell you, if I would have adopted Magic, I probably would have gone through, what do you think, about 10 pairs of shoes? Zelda is also a good guess, but no, it is not. Kiara is also a good guess. And I see Tiffany mentions D-Man. No, it's not any of those, and it's not Spiker. Spiker wasn't here back in 2013. And I will give you a hint. This cat was just out here about 5 minutes ago. Not Canby, but good guess. You should see. I have a picture of me holding Canby when she was this big. Just this big. You would never know that that Canby has grown into this kitty cat. You are a miracle. Alma was not here, and Danielle got the answer. It was Pania. Pania would be the right answer. That Pania, if we could not adopt Gallant, we would have adopted Pania. Yeah, unfortunately, Asha was a resident back then, so I wouldn't have the chance. But Asha's a sweet, sweet girl. Marilyn wasn't here then. Yeah, Pania. Yep. I don't know if you guys remember, but Pania used to climb everything really high. There's a little ladder system in this Candy Campus room, and Pania will climb all the way up to the top. Hi, Pania! We're just talking about you. We're just talking about you, Pania. Hi, Big D. I'll have to tell you, thank you. I'll tell you, Derecho has been really, I'm going to get your belly. 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 Where's your belly? Where's your belly, belly? Where's your belly? I got you. I got your belly. I got you. I got you, got you. I got you, got you. Oh, there we go. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got your butt. I got your butt. Oh, I got your butt. I got your butt. It's funny. Funny kitty. Since D came in, but can't remember when any of the others came. You know, Kitty's mom? I started watching September of 2012. Can you give her a few flicks before you leave? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you guys remember, but September 2012, Derecho has been here, but Derecho never stayed out by himself until is it October or November? And I don't know if you remember how nervous Jackie was to leave Derecho out by himself. Look at him now. You rule the roost here, bud. Yeah, let me Pania. Let me find the Pania flakes. There we go. There we go. Smell those tuna. Here we go. Here we go. Whoop. Do you want some? Here we go. I don't want to give you too many. All right. I'll give you some too. You know, you're lucky because I didn't look real carefully. I thought you were Zelda. But Zelda, you are the queen. Here we go. look at this. They're all looking at me, and they're making me feel guilty because I didn't give them any. All right, I'll give you some. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So Rachel, I'll give you some more. I didn't give you a lot. Lost, yes. There was a time when we thought the Rachel was going to be adopted, but I don't know the circumstances behind that. But you know, sometimes when the CH cats that are not mild get adopted out, sometimes it could go great, sometimes it might not go great. You guys remember when Spiker was adopted, all right? And Spiker was returned 3 days later. No, through no fault of his own, and I don't really think any fault of the adopters. Yeah. But I think the Rachel is really, really happy here. I really do. Look at Pontia. She wants me to give her more. You're not getting any more, Pontia. Yeah. But it's funny just watching. Yep. And Kitty's mom. It took a long time for Jackie to feel comfortable to adopt Elsie out, because Elsie, she had her, she knew this place like the back of her palm. Yeah, I think so too, Lost Girl. I think, I think he so loves the routine. It's kind of like Marilyn and Kiara. So, it's just about time for me to head out. I appreciate everybody's support. I appreciate everybody's time here. And I really, really appreciate, everything you guys have said to me. It's been wonderful. I do think that I'm going to feel an emptiness probably for a while. Probably not much I can do about that. So, the Dancing Queens. Alright, I'm going to get home. I'm sure the first thing that's going to happen when I get home is Gallant is going to crawl onto me. Which is fine, because I never, ever move him off of me, because he's a special boy. Gallant is the bravest stated person I know. Oh, absolutely, Lost Girl. And don't forget, Lost Girl, the Mystery Science Theater Marathon, Turkey Day Marathon tomorrow. So it's going to be tough for me, because they also have a Forensic Files Marathon. I love Forensic Files. So, alrighty. See you, everybody. Bye, guys. Bye, Pontia. Bye, Pontia. Bye-bye. Hi. Hi. You're a fluffy one. You're a fluffy one. Look at this. She is demanding that I pet her some more. And you're very demanding. You're very demanding. All right, guys.